to another episode of our Layfamilyyarn Diaries. My name's Kelly and this is my tiny little corner of the internet where I tend to talk about my knitting or crochet, sewing. We often share some walks that I've taken with Jeff. Occasionally I do some baking and things, but you're so very welcome. If you've been here before, you know that your favourite cup is in the cupboard, washed and dried from last time, and just waiting for you to fill it with your beverage of choice. As always, I've got my boy here, generally he is, and we thought we'd sit outside today. It's such a beautiful day. Oh, it's just stunning. So we thought we'd sit outside, didn't we, Jeff? I recorded the last episode. Are you going to go down so I can speak to people? What do you think? He's just had his summer haircut. I think he's just showing it off, really. I recorded less than 2 weeks ago, and oh, thank you so much. I had so many beautiful comments from people, just generally, but in specifically about this jumper I'm wearing today. And I said on that video that I'd recorded the introduction where I spoke about this jumper 3 or 4 times and kept fluffing it up. So I was going to take a break and come back from it, and I never did. I never went back to talk about it. So yeah, I've just come on today. It's going to be much quicker, really short episode, but really to talk about this jumper. And what I was so ineloquently trying to say last time was that if for whatever reason you have put off knitting yourself a garment, either because of a big crow's just flown overhead with a beak stuffed full of twigs and branches, and I'm going to be incredibly distracted filming this outside because we're at our family holiday home and we're incredibly lucky to be able to come here each week and spend time with my parents when they're here, but just Nick and I. It's a real getaway, a real bolt hole for us, and the wildlife around us is just phenomenal. There's we've got like a decking area, and last weekend, I think 2 weekends ago, we planted a herb garden, and the blue tits are all on there now, taking all the moss that's lining the basket to make their nest with, and they're all on the bird feeders, so I'm incredibly distracted, so I apologise in advance. Come on in, you go on your chair. There you go, Jeff's chair. Come. I know you want to cuddle, but it's too warm. Come on, Jeff's chair. Good boy, Jeff's chair. Good boy. There you go, Jeff's chair. Good lad. So yeah, this jumper, if you for whatever reason have put off, like I have for years, knitting yourself a garment because of any sort of body confidence issues, or whether it's such an investment in time and you're worried that you're going to get it wrong and that's put you off doing it, that you worry about doing all that time and effort and financial cost, of course, and then it doesn't fit. Honestly, I cannot. Come on then. All right, come on. Good boy. He doesn't want to be on that chair, he wants to be on this chair. We don't mind, do we? Okay. Yeah, please knit yourself a jumper. I cannot tell you how good it feels to be wearing a hand knit jumper. It's amazing. I didn't knit this one. We had we put a call out a few months ago for some sample knitters, and a lovely lady called Eleanor reached out and offered to help, and she'd knit this jumper as a test knit for the designer, so I asked her if she wouldn't mind doing the same jumper twice because I just loved it, and thankfully she did. Hang on, I'm just going to pause this video while I sort Jeff out so I can show you a few things. Give me a second. Oh, while I cut away, I will pop in a little video of me prancing around the garden here so you can see the jumper.
You say say take me on a treasure hunt. I long for something new. Have you heard the fairies when they sing and dance? Oh, I wish it was me every night. When I close my eyes, I see.
Doesn't it look lovely over a dress? I just love it. I don't need it on today. It's not cold really, but it's pleasant enough sat out here at the moment, but I shall take it off. Oh, yeah, I love it. So the jumper is the Foxberry pullover by Sari Nordland, and I don't know if you can see on here there are some lace details and there's some bubbles as well. It's knit in 1 strand fingering weight 4-ply and 1 strand mohair, and this is knit in our 1969 colourway, a real warm red. I love it. I love this colour. I wear red a lot. Yeah, I do wear red an awful lot. And Eleanor knit this in size 5. She's knit it exactly to pattern, not made any adjustments at all. It's perfect. It's perfect. I just love it. As you can see from my twirling and dancing, as is now, it's quite form-fitting, but as I continue my journey of health and potential weight loss, then it will change the look a bit more and it will become a little bit more oversized, and I think that will look nice too. So I'm really pleased with it. Honestly, I can't tell you how good it feels to be wearing a hand knit jumper in this yarn. I didn't knit it, as I say, but nonetheless I could have done, you know. And I am knitting myself one currently. I'm knitting the cardoon sweater. I spoke more about that last week, so if you haven't seen last week's episode, I do speak quite a lot about that, how it's a shared project between Nick and I. I am literally about to bind off the second sleeve, and then what I'm going to do then when we get home is block it. I haven't finished the body's on waist stitches. I'm going to block it, then measure it, try it on, measure it, and see how much more I want in the length. It's knit in superwash yarn, so it has the potential to grow a bit, doesn't it? So I want to make sure I get that right before I carry on with the body. I didn't expect to feel so emotional wearing a hand knit jumper. And yet I really did. Honestly, I feel on top of the world wearing it, and I feel so proud wearing it, which for anybody that knows me and knows me personally, I don't know if my mum or Megan will watch this, but I don't ever feel proud of myself in terms of wearing clothes or do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't ever put on an outfit and think, flipping heck, I feel fantastic. I just don't. But I do wearing this jumper. And I have another jumper that I'll show you and talk to you about next time perhaps. So please, honestly, whether you use hand-dyed yarn or whether you use yarn that costs £5 for 4 balls from Home Bargain or Aldi, just do it. Just make yourself a jumper. You'll feel amazing. Oh my goodness, there's about 6 chaffinches there. Sorry. So this week I've been knitting on, excuse me. Isn't this cute? My grandma used to have these all the time. And my mum picked this up in Spain somewhere. It's like a little doily crocheted with these glass beads on, and you can pop it over your drink or your glass so that the flies don't get in. I love it. Yeah, I wanted to try. The only thing I've been knitting on my jumper, as I say, my cardoon jumper, and I was knitting on my treasure trail socks that again I spoke about last time. But I wanted to try some new needles. New to me, that is, not new to the market. I've tried the 9-inch circulars before and I just find them just way too small. My hands were like claws. Now admittedly this was about maybe 3 years ago when they first really came onto the market. I haven't tried them since. I tried them once in a 4mm to knit a pair of mittens. I did make the mittens, I finished them, but it wasn't an enjoyable experience, so I've never tried them since. But somebody told me about the Addi sock wonders. Now I don't think somebody told me. I must have seen it on an Instagram pop-up advert or on something, and I was really intrigued because one needle is longer than the other. One needle's about 3/4 of an inch longer than the other, and I thought that might make it a more enjoyable experience. I'm just looking on the packet to see if it says. Yeah, so one needle tip is 4.5 centimeters and one is 7 centimeters. So they are, you know, one is significantly bigger. And for me, they're working really well. There's a tractor going past. That noises. Let me hold them up like this. Can you see? And for me, I hold the I knit English English throwing style. So I put the longer needle in my left hand, which is sort of my constant hand. I never let go of that needle. And the shorter needle I hold in my right hand, which I kind of drop every stitch. And it's working really, really well. It's really comfortable. It just fits in my hand just nice. I don't get any cramp, I don't get any pain or discomfort or feeling of uncomfortable in my hands at all. I've really, really enjoyed the process of using these needles. Really enjoyed it. I'm sure a lot of you have already tried them. I did a full needle review on our Patreon channel last week, and I know some of the folks over there have ordered some too. So I'll be interested to see what they think. Yeah, they're lovely and so much quicker. And I mean that obviously makes sense when you think I knit magic loop for my socks. I've never knit on DPNs. And with magic loop, obviously, just by the process, you have to every 32 stitches you have to stop and rearrange your cord and your needles and remanipulate the stitches again. So it's inevitable that that's going to take more time, isn't it, I think. But with these, you literally just clickety clack, round and round. Happy days. I'm trying to think when I cast these on. I think I just cast them on after the last time I podcast, so maybe about 10 days ago, and I shall finish them today. And I haven't worked on this monogamously, so that for me is quite quick for a pair of socks. I should have caveat this by saying that speed isn't the goal for me. I haven't done this. I didn't want to try this technique with a view to increasing my productivity or increasing the speed in which I knit, anything like that. It was more to do with knitting in the back of the car when I'm sat in the back with Jeff. Jeff now he didn't for so long, he sat on my knee. But I was getting really uncomfortable and he was getting really fidgety. He's scared of traffic. He's a really anxious little dog, and when he could see the traffic out of the window he was getting really anxious. So we've bought him a harness and a seat for in the back of the car, and he travels beautifully now, so good. And coming up to this warmer weather, he's not going to get as hot being sat on me. But that now means I've got 2 free hands to knit in the back of the car. I used to always knit in the car. It's only since having Jeff that I haven't. So the point of this really was that I wanted a project that I could leave in the back of the car and that I could just do a few rounds when we're travelling to and from the holiday home, which is about 30 minutes. and I thought this would be perfect because I could just go round and round. So I finished one sock. I love this colour, and I'm about finished with the second. Well, about finished, I'm halfway down the foot. I shall get that finished today, sat out here in the sunshine. When it came to doing the heel, I did do the heel flap and the heel turn on 2 DPNs, and then I went straight back to using in the round technique for the gusset pickup and everything else. Now the first sock, I must say there is a little gap in this corner, which is not unusual for sock knitters, I think, is it? You won't be able to see, you'll just have to take my word for it. But I think that was entirely technique and user error as opposed to any fault of the needle, because on the second sock I was much more mindful, and yeah, it's barely noticeable on the second sock, so that's good. So yeah, I was really pleased with these needles. I've ordered some more because Nick's getting to the point of needing a new project. Still wanted to continue with his exploration of colour work, and he's going to do some mittens next, which will be lovely actually for Nick, because he's never... What's he knit? He's knit the body of a Whitmore jumper, he's knit shawls, and he's knit a couple of cowls. In terms of colour work, he's just knit a couple of cowls and then a little bitty one for Jeff. But he's never knit socks. He's not interested in socks at all, or gloves. He's never knit gloves or mittens, and he's never... A cowl has been the smallest circumference project he's ever knit actually. So yeah, a pair of mittens I think will be quite interesting for him, because he'll do the gusset increases for the thumb, which he won't have done before. Do you call them gusset increases on a thumb? You know what I mean, don't you? Yeah, I think he's going to enjoy it. I think we're going to choose a pattern by Skein Deer Knits. We were looking last night on Ravelry, and I think it will be Skein Deer Knits. And I've ordered some of these sock wonders for Nick in a 3.5 and a 4mm. And I like them so much, I've reached out and got a wholesale account, so I'm going to be ordering some for the shop, which is nice. I've always said to people before, oh look at those birds. Sorry. I've always said that my shop is my stash ultimately, and from when I very first started dyeing yarn, and I think it's quite typical that you don't know what to expect, or you have no expectation that anybody will buy any. So my ethos was always, well, if I love it, if nobody buys it, I'm a happy little bunny. And that has continued. We still only dye what we like and stock products that we want to use. This probably doesn't make me the best businesswoman, but makes me a very happy knitter. I haven't got anything else to tell you really. I just wanted to give you the details of this jumper, and just to really reiterate that, you know, you're worth it. You're worth that hand knit garment. It's again just touching on what I said last week about talking to ourselves as we would talk to our girlfriends or our family, or more than likely a stranger on the street. You know, if we were sat around this table here and there were 6 of us, and one of us said, oh no, when I've lost 4 stone I'll make a jumper, or I'm not worthy of the time or the effort it takes to make a jumper, we would all jump on each other and say, stop that, you know. You love yourself as you are, and you're beautiful, and you deserve it, and you're worthy, and you will look and feel amazing. And yet when it comes to ourselves, we're never as kind or compassionate. And that was certainly one of my goals for 2022, was to be as kind to myself as I tried to be to my friends. as encouraging to myself as I try to be for my friends. And so far, overall, I think it's working. So this is me, your friend, saying to you, you're worthy, you're beautiful, you're going to look and feel amazing. And oh my goodness, so warm, so warm. I've watched podcasts for years, right? And I watch quite a lot. And everybody says, oh, it's the warmest thing. And people who live in Canada even, and they rave about the combination of mohair and alpaca, you know, a fluffy yarn, and 4-ply or DK held together, and they say it's so warm, so warm. And of course I believed them. I believed them. It wasn't a case of that, but until I experienced it, oh my goodness, I think I will quite quickly get to the stage where I won't want to have store-bought jumpers, because they're just nowhere near as warm. Yeah, it's amazing. I could sit here and wax lyrical forever, but I'm sure you'd be pretty bored of me. So I've got one more. Let me have a quick sip. Pinkies up. I've got one more thing to tell you. I've set myself a little challenge for April. I'm going to do daily videos, daily vlogs. That'll be crap. Go into this with zero expectation. If you wanted a proper vlogger experience, I believe Ali, I'm not sure if she's doing it on her Little Drops of Wonderful account or this Little Wonderful Life, which is her vlogging, more family orientated account, whereas Little Drops of Wonderful does tend to focus on her knitting and crochet. I'm not sure which account she's doing it on, but I do believe that Ali is doing daily vlogs through April. So if you want something professional and entertaining, watch Ali. If you just want to sit and have a coffee with your mate, not that Ali wouldn't be willing to do that with you either. Ali's a beautiful person, but if you just want something a bit mediocre to kill 10 minutes while you're doing the ironing or stirring your risotto, I'm going, hello darling, come on then, come on then. Yeah, I'm going to do daily vlogs through April. I'm also challenging myself to put up a picture on Instagram every day in April too, which as a small business owner you would think I do anyway, but I don't. I'm really, really bad at it. I probably do about 8 a month. Not good. So to do videos every day and a picture every day is quite a challenge for me. I'm looking forward to it. What have we got coming up in April, Jeff? We've got a retreat, haven't we? We're moving the shop into its new studio space, so that'll be nice. We'll be here. I'll take you on some amazing walks here along the river. Yeah, our patrons get to see that frequently. I often show it, and in fact I'll pop a little video on the end here. I took a morning walk yesterday. Oh, and the mist on the river. It was about 6:30. It was just light, and the mist on the river was just amazing. And then we watched the sunset, and oh, it's truly, truly a blessing to be able to do this. I feel so lucky. But yeah, that's it really. That's our news. There won't be another sit down one like this for then, but through April I'll show you our projects and show you what Nick's working on as well. We'll go on some walks. I dare say we'll do some cooking and baking and whatever, you know, just life. One day you might just see me hang the washing out. I told you it'd be crap. Do you know, I watch things on YouTube that I wouldn't dream of watching, but I really do enjoy. What am I watching at the minute? I Oh, this lady, she's amazing. She's got 10 children. She's in America. She's got 10 children, many of whom are adopted and have a variety of needs. And she films her morning routine. And she gets up at 5 o'clock and she makes homemade banana bread or muffins or something for the children's breakfast every day. Then she gets all their packed lunches ready. Oh, and I just love watching it. Why I want to watch somebody else make their packed lunch, I don't know, but I find it really, really fascinating. And actually, I find her really inspiring because I think only 3 of us and we're all adults. If she can accomplish that, I can accomplish mountains, can't I? Anyway, I'm just waffling now. I'm going to go. I'm going to go and enjoy this sunshine and finish my sock. Thank you again for all your lovely comments last time and your kind, encouraging words. You're always so lovely to me. I'm so grateful for you. I so appreciate you being here. Take care. I'll see you very soon.